music firsthand in our live streaming podcast of this incredible evening tonight. We have an amazing artist here with us tonight. Her name is Nichole Wagner. My co-host, Chris Petrovka, and I are super stoked to host this for you tonight. Please, please, please ask any questions that you may want to ask on the live stream video. Please, anybody?
That's right. Yeah, so send in your questions. That's really key. And the likes and shares is really what keeps the show going. We're on show number 16, I think. And we keep going because it's picking up. I mean, the studio audience is packed tonight. It's the first time. Yeah. Nicole has sold the place out, so this is exciting for us. So we're really thrilled. And hey, let me just tell you that I'm so happy to have Nicole on the show tonight. She's just an incredible, amazing artist that moved here from Colorado, and we're so excited to have her here in Austin as a part of our family. And so, hey, with no further ado, let me introduce to you Nichole Wagner.
The sky is gray and lonely, only grackles sing. All the words you used to say didn't mean a thing. Weeds grow on the crossing, a bell no longer rings. Off in the distance, an engine rumbling. I leave my pennies on the track, hope you come back. There's not a wishing well, full of truth and lies we tell. Love is not a game, not keeping score. You're a train, doesn't run through my heart no more. Should've known the story, the whistle told the tale. A man like you spends his life rolling down the rail. At night the air is cooler, I don't miss you like I did. Somehow all these years you kept your secrets hid. I leave my pennies on the track, hoping you come back. There's not a wishing well, full of truth and lies we tell. Love is not a game, not keeping score. You're a train, doesn't run through my heart no more. In the sand, cleanse myself for you down by the Rio Grande. I left my pennies on the track, you're not coming back. There's not a wishing well, full of truth and lies we tell. Love is not a game, I'm not keeping score. You're a train, doesn't run through my heart no more. Yeah, you're a train, doesn't run through my heart no more.
Feels good having people in here. I like having people in the studio. It's fun. I don't feel it doesn't feel like a therapy session at this point.
Which she says that to me all the time. It's like every time she meets me, it's another therapy session with Chris.
Well, I think, I don't know. You look a lot like my actual home therapist.
That's creepy. Hey, was there a lyric in there where you left some panties somewhere or something like that?
No, I left my pennies.
Okay, I want to make sure I didn't hear that as panties, just to be sure, folks at home. But
yes.
So the questions are going to get weirder. I'm just getting it started for you.
Well, that's fair. That's absolutely fair.
Yes.
I mean, I usually keep my panties in my purse. That's an emergency pair of panties. We got multiple women in the audience. She's like looking for the panties in her purse.
I left them in the car.
Yeah, but see, in the car, it's not that bad. Now, what is the pennies on the track? Like when you flatten out by the train?
Yeah, if you leave your pennies on the track, when the train rolls over them, they get flattened. And then if you stack the coins, then you can get like an imprint of the top coin onto your penny. And all kinds of things that you shouldn't do because it's actually really dangerous. But, you know, when you grow up by the railroad tracks, it's the kind of nonsense.
Nothing says after school activities than derailing a train.
Mm-hmm.
Why not? Why not?
That's so true. That they tell you those kind of stories that just to, like, scare the hell out of you as a kid, like not to get on the train track.
It's not really so much that, though. It's that trains are actually very quiet.
Yeah.
Like a lot quieter than you would think they would be.
Oh, yeah.
And so they can sneak up on you and they can't stop.
Yeah.
So
Especially when you're tied.
stay off the train
Tied
tracks.
up. Yes, it's true. Good point.
First 5 minutes, this is turning into a literal nightmare. Like I'm over here, like plotting our inevitable death by train. Damn.
Speaking of which, too, you have a new video. Speaking of death and things, you have one about lies, and it's a murder ballad.
Yeah.
And,
Lying is bad.
Yeah, that's right. And which the video was pretty cool and creepy.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Yeah, I got together with a friend of mine, Ed Brodsky, and we just put together this video in the course of a couple of hours.
Wow.
Almost by accident.
Uh-huh.
We were just testing the setup and intending on filming it later, and then everything we got just worked.
Yeah.
So
awesome.
we kept it.
Kismet.
Mm-hmm.
Aw, I love when that
Yeah.
stuff works out.
How often does that happen, right? I mean, when you get together, it could take days.
You know, I think it's just sometimes magic happens.
Or you're just really good.
You're like, okay.
Yeah.
She's just hyper talented, folks. That's how that works.
Yes.
And she has super talented friends as well. No,
Yes, I have super talented friends.
Which, by the way, and
some of them are here.
which, speaking of friends, we have some questions that are coming in online. So, I guess my panty question got us off on the right foot tonight. What do you do? This is from Jessica Barola.
Okay.
Thanks, Jessica, for your question. Appreciate that. What do you do when you have writer's block when working on a new song?
Oh man, that's a good question. I mean, the silly answer that nobody wants to hear is that I take my dog on a walk, because like getting out of the space can really help, like change your perspective on your song too. I'll read a book, or I'll bake cookies.
Oh, yeah.
You know, just get out of that space for a little bit,
Right.
But then make sure you come back and actually go back to work.
Yeah, it makes you focus on something else, right? Especially if the dog, you're out there walking and fresh air and stuff, that makes a ton of sense.
Well, how do you get back to that space? Like, how do you convince yourself to be like, all right, we've done the cookies, we've done the dog walking. How do we get back to writing the song?
You either like organize your sock drawer,
Yep. There we go.
or you just acknowledge that there's some magic and some mysticism in songwriting, but a lot of it's also just like showing up
Yep.
and writing. And maybe that thing that you're writing doesn't turn into a song today, but then tomorrow maybe it will. Or you'll write something different, and like not getting discouraged by I don't know what to write, I don't know what to say, this sounds stupid, just let it out, and then do it again the next day.
That seems to be a really common theme with the artists that we've, at least the last 2 interviews that I've done with you, that every single person that comes in here is super dedicated to their craft, not necessarily like the perceived, like the wannabe perception of it. It's that they take time in their art and they submerge themselves in it, and it makes all the difference to actually believe in yourself, and that's super inspiring as an artist looking at another one. That's
It's
incredible.
a piece of artwork.
Yeah.
It's part of it.
Yeah, it's the process.
Now, do you ever take some of the writing? Do you share some of that with your fans sometimes? Like say, hey, I've written a few verses here. Do you ever put that out there before you're finished, or do you sort of keep it in before you bring the art out?
I'm pretty protective of my new babies.
Yeah.
I did just start a Patreon page, which is going to be a place for some of those songs that maybe won't make it to the record, or that won't get as frequently played out, for those to live and to be hopefully enjoyed and to grow.
Okay.
I've had some songs that I didn't think were going to make it, and then once they got out into the atmosphere, they found their legs, and it's cool to see, because you don't always know what's going to make a good song that people are going to connect to.
Yeah. Because everybody can interpret those things very differently, right? If it's a song to how what it meant for you.
Right.
and how others interpret that. So, which also too, I think Mario is running social now. He's going to do a plug for the Patreon page, and if you're tuned in now, please do check out the Patreon page. Those things are really important for the artists. All right, that support. So that's really good.
Do.
Yeah.
Click likes and shares, people. I'm gonna say it till my head pops off.
Yeah, that's right. And so the EP. Let's talk about that for a little bit, right? I mean, I got to listen to it for the last week over and over again. So tell us about the EP. What went into that? How'd that process come together?
Again, I wish it was like a really awesome, amazing. I saw a sign on a mountain, but it was really more that I had.
You can make something up. We're in the Trump era. Just do it.
All the fake news.
Touche. Well, in that case, see, I was out on the desert and I came across this unicorn, and in the mane of the unicorn, I saw all of these constellations, and I just knew that I had to make a record on that day. And so I asked the unicorn, and I said, well, who should I make the record with? And they said, Douglas. I said, I don't know what that means. And so I came back into town and found my, one of my spirit guides, Mr. Ray Bonneville, and said, Douglas. He goes, oh, well, Justin Douglas.
There we go.
And
then I made a record.
That is the best
The
story I've ever
Pravda
heard.
was in the unicorn mane. That's
Wow.
how that works. That's awesome.
That was good. So head to the desert and look for unicorns.
The next unicorn you come across will bring you mind-blowingly
That was
amazing
good.
music. Deal with it. Also, who shot this? Like, do you know who was your?
Yeah, my friend Valerie Freeman
This
did
beautiful photography.
just gorgeous work. She's my favorite photographer in town,
There we go.
and
Page for you, Miss
Yeah.
Valerie. Oh, I love that.
she's also one of the people who's known me longest in this town. So I just felt really comfortable working with her.
Yeah, you cannot take pictures in front of people you don't know. That's not an okay thing. That's a very vulnerable thing. I'm like, that's the one, like, I'm not even remotely Native American, but I'm like, you're stealing my soul if you're randomly snapping pictures of me, aka the person who posted the picture of, we were trying to take an innocent selfie earlier, and we were snapped, we got papped by our own people earlier. Check out the Instagram for the real life and evidence of that. It's true. It just happened.
So
you were in that picture.
I was, but it was okay when I started
violated?
taking pictures of you after we met, right? Before that was
You
really
signed
weird.
the disclosure. That's fine. If you sign that, then you can talk to my people.
Okay, good.
And by people, I mean my mom.
Got a lot of pictures of Becky Jo. It's weird.
That's horrifying. Like, I'm over here like, nope, terrifying, nope. Are we gonna do we have another?
No questions online yet. Yeah, but just want to follow up then. So you're working now. The whole Patreon page is you're working on a full-length album. Is that right?
Yes.
And so what can we expect from that? What can your fans expect from the new full-length album?
I'm looking at sometime in the late spring of next year for a release date, and 10 to 12 songs that hopefully are cohesive and fit together and are more representative of the music I'm making now. The EP is almost a year old, and I'm still very proud of it, but I've also grown as an artist and as a person in that past year.
Yeah.
So it's time for something new.
What is Did you have a question? I was gonna,
No.
So, I mentioned this in the opening, but you moved to Austin, and what brought you to Austin? And then, kind of along the same lines that how you just answered that was, what's changed for you since you've been here as a musician?
I came to Austin as a photographer, actually, and I wasn't playing music other than I had a guitar and I played Patty Griffin songs in the kitchen for my dog.
Yes.
Best audience.
Yes.
But it was something I just did occasionally and without real aspiration at that point. I wanted to be a singer out of high school, but as it turns out, nobody knocks on your door and says, hey, do you want to come be Stevie Nicks? So I was like, well, I don't know how to do this now, so that's cool. I'll take pictures. And I built myself a great community of people here, and it snowed 4 feet in Denver, and I packed up my car and drove out here, and then I just stayed.
Nice.
Good for you. Smart
Escaped
move.
the snow.
Yeah,
Yes.
in April of all times.
Oh yeah, no. I'm from
Just
the
nope,
Midwest.
I'm
We
done.
got May Day, snow days all the damn
No
time.
thanks.
All the time. That's insane.
And then after being out here for a number of years and kind of being reminded, hey, that was something I really kind of wanted to do. And now I'm seeing my friends and people doing it at all different levels. And I saw where you could start.
Yeah.
And then one of my dearest friends was like, hey, that thing you were going to do out of high school, why didn't you do it? I was like, I don't have a good answer for that, but I still really want to.
Yeah.
So I don't want to be 90 in my rocking chair going like, why didn't you try?
Yeah.
So here we are.
Good for you.
Wow, that's amazing.
Yeah, that's great.
Come on, studio audience with the claps. This is why this is
Welcome to Oprah Winfrey Show.
we support it.
Are there
That's
cars?
amazing. Oh, I wish. Where's my car? Oh, that's awesome. No.
With your likes and shares, we
Yes,
will get
we
you
can.
cars.
You'll get a car, please. No, you have to do that. We need to get cars.
Well, I really am moved by that. I think that's just great, and it is nice about Austin. It's very supportive. It's us getting to show up and running too. It's just supportive community to support music and support the arts. I think that's just great. Who was the friend who called you up one day and called you out and said, "Hey, you're going to chase that dream"?
My best friend, Kristen Kirkpatrick.
Yeah. Okay.
And it was
Sounds like a
just,
superhero name.
yeah, she's kind of my superhero.
Kristen Kirkpatrick, but on the side, Supergirl. Like, of course. That's amazing.
She's probably watching, and now you're like her favorite person.
She's over here like, yes. Kristen, send us a question, please.
Bringing her right here.
we all yes, everybody needs a Supergirl. That's great. So I love the story. I'm so glad that you're here. We're glad you're on the show tonight. Can we do another song?
Yeah,
All right.
actually, speaking to Kristen, this is a co-write that we wrote. I was struggling kind of at that point of like, I don't know where to take this story, and she came in and pulled the things that weren't working and then helped me fill in the extra pieces.
Nice.
So this is called The Fires of Pompeii. Caught you looking at me from across that room, like the fires of Pompeii. The air began to burn. Your eyes met mine, and they're the brightest of blue, so crystalline. And the next thing I knew, that there's a million reasons this should work, unless we're buried in ashes. You're not him and I can't replace her. There's a likelihood we'll both get hurt. There's a likelihood we'll both get burned. We should walk away. We should walk away. And we were dancing in circles while the band played on, like two constellations. We're trying to outrun the sun. But when it finally should walk away. Should we walk away? Thank you.
I love that.
Is that song about a specific person, or is there?
It's a mostly true story.
Okay.
Yeah.
I like mostly. You decide. You decide the truth. I like that.
Was this another trip to the desert with unicorns?
No.
Okay.
This was on a magical island and a volcano.
They're just getting more and more. Oh, the world we
You
live
are
in.
hilarious.
This is amazing.
Good.
Oh my gosh. We have some fan questions.
We do have some-
actually. We have
yes.
some comment questions.
Oh yeah, they're pouring in
Comment
now.
questions?
Yes, mostly about pancakes.
Yeah. So Jana Pochop.
Jana Pocop.
Yeah, that's a great question. Please ask Nicole her favorite kind of pancake.
It's a weighted question, apparently.
Wait, this show's getting way too heavy.
Okay.
All right.
Well,
We're about to
First of
lose
all-
some
Send in-
fans.
yeah.
This is important because I have my pancake socks on.
What? No.
Yeah.
Look at this.
Please.
This is
Jana
awesome.
knows me really well.
It's amazing.
So the
Great question.
thing about it is that there's this place in Nashville called the Pancake Pantry.
Okay.
And I've never lived in Nashville, but for a while I was in Nashville so frequently that I was the Yelp Duchess of Pancake Pantry.
No!
And I discovered that when you're there, you get the 5 small like pancake of all the different flavors. You can get like 5 of one flavor or 3 of the fruit-filled flavors. But you can also get like 3 of the flavors and then 1 of the fruit-filled flavor. So that's a multi-part question or answer.
You hacked the pancake game. She
So I
cornered
like
the
to
market
get
of
the
pancakes.
peach pancake, and that's delicious, and it's filled with like peach preserves. But then also their sweet potato pancakes are amazing.
Wow.
And
I didn't know there were more than 5 kinds of pancake.
yeah, but
we
then
just
like
pull up their
Kirby
menu?
Lane also has some amazing pancakes, but get the cinnamon swirl in them. And now I'm gonna digress, so please.
After that, I'm out of questions.
I'm actually gonna go get some
That, I think,
pancakes.
yeah.
Screw this. I'm out. No.
Yeah, we're having tacos afterwards. Had I known that, we would have made pancakes after the show.
Taco flavored pancakes. That's her favorite. That's mine. Ew. Oh, I couldn't even finish that sentence.
Savory pancakes might be good.
I feel like, well, like a latke? Yeah,
Yeah.
I like.
I'm there for it.
What was the
Okay.
name of the place? The taco place?
The
The pancake place. What was the name?
Oh, Pancake Pantry in Nashville.
Okay, Pancake Pantry. All
I
right.
need to hit that up.
But Kirby
Yeah.
Lane has some really solid pancakes that are available 24/7 here
That's
in
true.
Austin.
And would you like to tell us about some of your favorites at Kirby Lane?
Are you also the Kirby Lane princess, Duchess of Pancake?
I'm not, sadly, but we probably should stop talking about
Okay,
pancakes.
well,
I'm
we-
going to get hungry.
I'm like, there's probably some drunk sorority girl that's beating you at the Duchess
And
of
we do have more
Pancakes at Kirby
questions.
Lane anyway.
We have more questions coming in. So a question from Rachel Butler. How long have you been a singer-songwriter, and were you born doing it?
Kind of, sort of. As a kid, I had one of those tape decks that you could record onto.
Oh, yeah, okay.
So I was obnoxious and made up my own songs and ran around.
So you had like
Playing
one of
very
these and
loud.
walked around with?
Oh, he just
Well,
whipped that out of nowhere. Y'all.
That
What
was
the
kind
hell?
of amazing, but sort of, except for it was like, the early 80s, so
Okay.
it was
3
much
times as large.
larger and not as pretty colored.
Okay.
Mine was brown. Anyhow,
It's brown. Brown.
so like but we didn't I wasn't always singing out in front of people other than the people I could
Yeah.
force to listen to me. But it's been about 3 years now that I've been actually performing in front of people that I don't know, and singing songs that I've written myself and playing guitar and
What's
all
that
those
like?
things.
I mean, just that, when you first start to do that, and there's a lot of probably musicians listening in tonight too. They're just getting started, and how do you break through that? How do you get over some of that nervousness and anxiety that happens?
It's just at some point you realize that you're not gonna die.
Yeah.
That is so brilliant.
Like that you're gonna step
gonna
on
be okay.
stage, and the worst thing that can happen is not the absolute worst thing that could ever happen, and so it's gonna be fine. And then you survive the first one, and then you go to the next one, and you're nervous again, and then you're like, okay, but I lived.
Yeah.
And like each thing you live through that's a little bit more scary than the last, you're like, okay, well now I can do that other thing because it's way less scary
Yeah.
than this.
Did you start doing other things before? Like, did you like start like, I am gonna cut somebody in line at Subway first, then I'm gonna stake my claim? Or did you just like immediately? Did you just go to like an open mic or something? Like, how did you?
That's where I would start.
Yeah,
Come on, start small.
right. I started at the New World Deli open mic,
There we go.
and
One of our favorites.
played a couple songs, and again, nobody died. I
Right.
didn't die. Nobody in the audience died. It was a success.
Yeah, and lo and behold, people told you did great. It
And
was
then,
great.
you know, we went back the next week, and then eventually I started hosting it, and then I handed it over, and it's still running. My friend Heather Miller runs it now.
Heather Miller, shout out.
So, you know, Monday nights, if you're getting ready and like trying to get started, it's a great place. It's super supportive, and the open mic scene here is like really, really nice.
Yeah.
Very supportive, yeah. And so you did a couple open mics, just like, I kind of got this guitar thing down. And then Joan Osborne calls and is like, hey, you want to open up for me? It's just kind of how it happens, right?
I mean, sort of. Like,
That's pretty cool.
a little bit. We'll go with that story.
Like she didn't work really, really, really hard.
How did that connection happen? That's pretty cool. I mean,
Yeah, it was one of those weird things that, like, it just, the right place at the right time. I had written the venue. I grew up in Denver, and so there was this music venue, Swallow Hill, where they did lessons, and I took a couple piano lessons there as, like, a child, and didn't get very good, but, like, whatever, I was still there. And so I wrote in and said, like, hey, I have got a lot of family in Denver. They've never seen me play. I'd love to play your, like, super, like, the smallest room you have on, like, a weekday. Mm-hmm. And they were like, well, it's not open during the summer. And I'm like, okay, right, that's cool. And then so I, you know, just kind of kept in touch and was like, well, if something comes up or, like, maybe in the fall or... Yeah. And then I got an email, like, not very long after that initial no. It said, but we do need an opener for Joan Osborne.
What?
you were like,
How casual that was.
I got a lot going on. I don't know.
I was
A
like,
to 150
cool, I'd love to be
miles per hour.
considered. And then, like, I didn't hear anything for a couple months. I was like, okay, cool, that's a thing that's not going to happen. And then, like, just because I'm somewhat obnoxious and tenacious, I sent an email, like, 3 days before and was like, hey, did anybody ever get that spot? I don't see somebody listed. And they're like, oh, we need to check. And then, like, I got a call the day before that said, this is, you know, so-and-so from Swallow Hill. You can open for Joan Osborne.
Damn.
And it was amazing, but it was sold out.
Yeah.
So, like, nobody could come see me play.
Just Joan Osborne fans. That's pretty dope, though.
They stuck my parents in so my parents could see me.
Yeah. How great is that, though?
Yeah.
That's when you knew God is one of us.
And it was fantastic.
I'm not the comedian. Let's just be
I was
clear,
about
okay?
to say, like, there's
I'm
something
not.
obnoxious about,
She's the
like,
comedian.
tenacious, totally, but, like, like that. You just used that God is one of us?
Yeah, I had to just throw in a Joan Osborne joke. So,
Damn.
I was encouraged by Brian Wolf because he asked the question earlier on, so I had to ask the John Osborne question.
Oh, that's
That
really
was
good.
that was great.
Thanks. I've been waiting all week to use it.
This is upsetting
Okay.
that I'm feeling in my
Hey, on that note, do we want to do another song? What do you think?
Sure.
Should we do a couple of them?
Yeah, let's do.
All right.
So I'm gonna do a couple songs that are contenders for this next record, and this is. I turn the TV on at night so I can't hear my thoughts. Another time my collection is one you would have bought if you were here. Man, I hate to bring it down so much here, but I also feel like it's my folk duty. So this is a newer song. As she stops to drink tea. This is a newer song that I think is also going to make it to the new record. I feel the storm clouds forming, the air is heavy. There's your eyes, lightning flash, your words are thunder. No surprise, I sip my coffee, it's the empty silence. It's hard to breathe. Keep my tears from raining down until you leave. If I resolve not to let you in, forget the way your hands felt on my skin. Maybe I'm a fool, maybe I'm a lie, saying this won't be the last time. Outside the birds are chirping, they could fly away. Me, I don't know how. Hold on too tight, it all slipped away. There's nothing left now. If I resolve not to let you in, forget the way your hands felt on my skin. Maybe I'm a fool, maybe I'm a lie, saying this won't be the last time. And I leave the light on as the sun goes down. Don't know if you'll be home. Being with you, it's like being strangers, but it's better than being alone. There's your sad song for the evening.
That's great. I got like goosebumps. Stuff. Did y'all get goosebumps right now? That was a good one, man.
I'm technically sweating myself to this chair right now. I think that's what's actually happening. There might be a chemical reaction occurring. Don't worry. Nope, babe, we're good.
It sometimes gets weird in here, by the way.
Shut up. No, actually, I was wondering, I was telling Chris this earlier, my mom is actually a really big fan of the show. My mom is like, she's kind of a super fan.
Hi, Becky Joe's mom.
Yes, hi Linda, love you. Everybody say hi to Linda.
Hey, Linda.
Well, we're shouting out to moms, like,
Yes.
hey, mom. and
Yeah,
sister.
everybody say hi to their mom.
Which, this is a good timing from Joni Redwine says, just not a question, but we love you. And Savannah, Mom, and Aunt Joni.
That's sweet.
That's
Hi,
what we
guys.
do here, Music Firsthand.
You're
We
the
bring
best.
families together.
Yes.
That's what we do. But my mom actually has been, she calls me every Wednesday, the day after the show, and suggests questions to ask people. So I was hoping it would be okay if I could ask you a couple of questions that my mom has sent.
Sure.
And she thinks these are like the most controversial questions these are the most controversial questions my mother Linda could ask. Okay, are you ready for this?
Thanks, Mother Linda.
Thank you, Mother Linda. Who's your favorite Instagram account?
Good question.
Oh, man.
Uh-huh.
because she follows 2 dogs on Instagram, and that's what she does on Instagram.
Oh, are we talking like just dog Instagrams?
No, I mean like my mom is asking that because she's like, tell me it's one of the dogs I follow. Like she
Oh, well, like Jif is awesome.
Yes.
And like everybody should go do that. But also, I really love the Bonaparte's Retreat
What?
Instagram. They're a dog rescue run by Emmylou Harris.
What?
Oh my god.
Oh.
Everybody should follow that.
And,
Whoa.
like they rescue dogs that are having a hard time getting adopted elsewhere, and she
That's
takes
great.
them in, and like they get rehabbed, and it's it's awesome, and like everybody should go follow all of the dog rescue things.
Obvi.
Oh,
But-
wow.
Like there's something extra special because every once in a while you'll be scrolling through it and you'll be like, that's Emmylou Harris and Chrissy Hind hanging out with dogs.
That is cool.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I like
that's really
that.
cool.
Do you have a special voice that you use to talk to your dog?
Of course, doesn't everybody?
Yeah, right? What's your dog voice?
Can we hear the dog voice?
Yeah, what's your dog voice?
Give some
Everybody
likes
has
if you
one.
like. Hey, Mario, we need likes if you want to hear the dog voice. Give us some
dog
likes.
voice.
We get enough
Just
likes?
Give a little taste. How do you
Uh-huh.
talk to Miss Peanut? I'm on a first name basis with the dog and I haven't even met her.
Pretend Becky Joe's Peanut. How would you speak to her?
You're such a good girl, you little goober. Oh my goodness.
That was so worth it.
That
Oh my
was
god, that
awesome.
was so worth it. Are you, yes, hashtag dog bombs. Are you a big or little spoon?
I'm a middle spoon because I have a dog that's a Chihuahua.
Yeah, there we go.
So
You gotta be in between. Best taco in Austin.
vegan nom.
Ooh,
Oh, that is
I like
good.
that.
I would agree.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Go-to karaoke song.
Clearly, Edge of 17.
Clear.
Oh, that-
Clearly. That was like no
We should have
time
known that,
between
yeah.
Pineapple on pizza, question mark.
I think that's okay.
Thank you. We're not going to
I
get
would
the house is
agree.
gonna burn down.
Some people hate that.
We are going to lose so many followers because of that. Someone's going to be like, screw you,
In
pineapple on
other news,
pizza.
Pineapple.
Nicole Wagner's musical career tanked last night.
Because of pineapple
Yeah,
pizza.
exactly. Yeah.
And last one, new Willy Wonka or old Willy Wonka? Gene Wilder, Johnny Depp.
I mean, Gene Wilder.
Duh.
Yeah.
I will fight a person who would, I will fight a person.
We just became friends.
That's true. But our ratings would have went through the roof. You two would have fought.
Ooh.
Well,
Go viral.
I mean, but she seems so nice.
And she's
Maybe
also very little.
we'll do it after the show, and then if more people came to our live stream
Like and
audience, you can
share,
stick around
and we'll have a fight.
There you go. Yes.
Like, right, like we're over here, like, trying to be nice. Oh, no. Yes. I didn't know it was an arm wrestle. We're like, I just want to hold your hand. I just wanted to hold hands. I
Aw.
tried. Thanks, Mom, for the questions. You're the win. I love ya.
Great questions, Mom Linda.
She tried. She tried.
That was
I'll give her
good.
Those were impressive.
She's also at home like, the scandal, pineapple on pizza. Bless her soul.
We did get a follow-up question too, because we're going back to Joan Osborne. Sorry for a second. I know. But Brian Wolf is watching the show. He's the lead singer of Fair City Fire, which is a great band here in town as well. And he's watching at home. But he did want to know. He loved hearing the story about it. Did you get a chance to meet Joan Osborne? And what was that like? Okay.
She was really super gracious, and I'm not just saying that.
That's
like,
great.
she was really, really kind,
Okay.
and her band was extraordinarily generous
Nice.
with, just everything. It was the absolute nicest. I've been very lucky. I've had almost exclusively amazing experiences being an opener for people.
So is there more than Joan Osborne that I'm not?
Yeah.
Okay, let's hear. Now I'm like.
Well, so okay. I opened for my friend Rod Picott,
Okay.
and we did 3 shows in May, and that was awesome. There were house concerts, and the
Oh,
people
the best.
were just you can't beat it.
That's right.
And then in February, I'm opening for Levi Parham at a house concert as well.
I did see that post
So I'm
recently.
super excited about that down in
That's-
San Antonio.
Yeah, that's really good, and it is true. Especially doing it in the house concert setting is the perfect environment.
It's the best place to be.
Yeah.
I mean, if I can be somewhere where I can party and conveniently fall on a couch, I'm safe.
And, and how do I don't even have a response to that. How and then if people
He's
want
like,
to
please don't fall on my couch later, please.
if folks wanted to book you for a house concert yourself, how would they get a hold of you?
They could send me an email,
Okay.
which contact at NicoleWagnerMusic.com is the best way.
Okay.
or my website has an email form,
Yep.
and or send a carrier pigeon. It's fine.
Or baby goats.
Yes.
Send it over to baby goat.
Baby goats.
Yeah.
Y'all didn't know. Apparently, she's like friends with all of the tiny animal people.
Yeah, by the way, we do have in the studio tonight a flying squirrel.
Yeah, we're not lying. There's actually
really
a tiny.
do.
Yeah, he like surprised me with this, and I really wish that we had streamed that because that was the most excited I've been about anything in my young adult life. I've never seen something so tiny.
Hey, we have Nichole Wagner, but we have a flying squirrel. So.
P.S.
It's fine.
She came with her posse full of cool
Yes.
people, and they brought tiny animals. You're like, that's honestly the step. The next guest is gonna have to. What are they gonna bring?
That's true. They're hard to top that one. Yeah, I don't think we
know
can
if
top
you-
the flying squirrel.
Challenge accepted. Hopefully, please
Yeah, that's
bring
true.
more tiny
next,
squirrels.
Yeah, next week we have Daria, so we'll see what she does. So, yeah.
Earlier, you were talking about how when you first, I'm only playing guitar for my dog in the kitchen. Does Peanut have a favorite song of yours?
Peanut, as she's gotten older, has lost interest a little bit.
She's fangirled herself out.
A little bit. I mean,
That's fair.
she's kind of over it. But the cat really, really loves music, but specifically the banjo.
Oh, funny.
That's interesting. So every time you play the banjo, the cat comes and hangs out.
Yeah.
That's adorable. Right?
Tries to wedge
Bluegrass
herself
kitty.
in between the banjo and my body.
Oh, that's
What?
great.
That's
I don't
amazing.
know. Got a weird cat.
I
Or
love
like
it.
a super bluegrass cat. Your cat just wants to be in a band. Your cat's like, hire me. I'm ready. I'm ready. Backup
Yes.
singer kitty. Oh, that's so cute. We're capitalizing on all the animals today. Welcome to Music Firsthand, where you can adopt God no. It's like a telethon for animals.
We're gonna get
That
the
should be a
strange
segment.
sponsors. Yeah, it should be. Yes. And one of your, you mentioned also, I think in your bio that one of your open mics was at college, right? One of your first ones that did not go that well. We got to hear this story here.
Well, there was a lot of things going on with that. One that I wasn't super familiar with the venue in which the open mic was held, and it was not a folk venue.
Okay.
So I showed up with my guitar to a bunch of more hip hop style
Okay.
situation,
Yeah.
and they were really cool about it. They were like, "Okay, cool," but I had never been on a stage before in front of strangers, and my guitar didn't plug in, so we were struggling to figure out how to mic the guitar, and
Yep.
there was just a lot of things going on. And then I was nervous, and then it was it was put on by one of the Young Life kind of groups on campus.
Okay.
And had I thought about it a little more, I might have picked a different song. But in retrospect, what can you do? They were really nice, and also I was just terrified,
Yeah, I'm sure.
completely terrified. I was like, well, that's a thing that I don't seem to have to do.
Yeah.
So maybe I won't do it until I am ready again.
Well, you talk about the worst that could happen. You're kind of like, let's just get this one out of the way.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And again, everybody was super, super nice, and
Good.
it wasn't terrible. It was just oh, I'm not ready for this.
And if you don't bomb immediately, there's no hope for your career. There's absolutely no
Yeah.
hope. If people are blowing you up the whole time, you were great, you're amazing, you're fantastic, you never screwed up in your whole life, you never get anywhere. You have to really, and that's not even a total perceived failure. That's not even a fail to me. I would be yeah, I went and I did my very best, which exactly no.
And learned it wasn't quite there yet.
Right. And you're no, this is exactly how you get better. That's how you get better.
Well, I'm
That's
glad you didn't
incredible.
decide to mix it up and do beatbox or something.
Honestly,
Yeah.
collab. You should mash up.
That's right,
Mash
yeah.
up. Do it. That'd
Yeah.
be great.
So you have the house concert coming up. We'll leave at Parham here soon. Where else could we see you here in town?
Well, actually, that's part of making the record is that I'm taking some time off
Yep.
from playing out. I'm sure I'll crop up places. The New World Deli open mic is a great place for me to try out new songs. So
Yeah.
I'll be there, and it's kind of around town
Okay.
hanging out, but really in the studio and knows the grindstone. It's the work part of it.
Yeah, that's right. And that's why the support on Patreon, for those of you watching, please check out. I think you're at 4 out of 10. As your goal was 10, I think you're at 4 right now. So let's really help Nicole get to that 10 if you're watching, and support her. And it's really what supports artists all over. If you're watching, so make sure you check that out. And then go to your website to contact you for booking as well.
You can also order the EP.
And order the EP.
If you buy it from my website, I will sign it and put it in an envelope and mail it to you like a present.
Ooh.
But you can also download it on iTunes and.
But that's no fun.
I know, right?
Go the
Yeah.
personal route.
Yeah.
Get a.
I would agree.
Aw.
Yeah.
Who does that? Get her damn album
Yes.
via snail mail.
That's right.
Y'all.
Yeah. And so, hey, as we wrap, so thanks everybody who tuned in. In 3 or 4 days, we'll have it up on our YouTube page. So please subscribe to our YouTube page. And I'm serious that your likes and shares keeps the show going. Mario Ramirez has been running social. He's over there dripping in sweat, doing all the social activity tonight. The incredible, astounding, our producer, Benjamin Allen Levy, has been running everything. And so we want to give him credit as well. Becky Jo Neal, wonderful as usual. And then thank you so much, Nicole, for coming on the show tonight.
Thank you guys for having me.
So lovely.
Great.
Thanks for tuning in.
And our studio audience, thank you guys. For
And the tiny furry,
Yes.
furry animals that are here. Oh, God.
And tiny furry animals. And next week we got Daria, so tune back in. We're every Tuesday at 7 p.m. We're at the Music Firsthand live streaming show. Comedians interviewing musicians. Thanks everybody. Have a good night. We'll see you.
Yay. Woo!